to onewaytoparadise@gmail.com. One Way to Paradise, letters ONEWAYTOPARADISE@gmail.com. And I will email you the fatwa, the whole fatwa inshallah with the details, so you will know exactly why it is unlawful. I myself cannot give you that answer. In Salat, Takbirat al-Ihram means saying Allahu Akbar and raising the hand. So is it two actions? Then what about Takbirat Salat al-Janaza and Salat al-Eid after Takbirat al-Ihram? Do we have to raise the hand? Takbirat al-Ihram is actually saying Allahu Akbar, and raising the hand is another aspect that is also part of the Salah. They're not both falling under Takbirat al-Ihram. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Either way, in order to be on the safe side, refer to the books of fiqh. There's one in English, I don't remember the name right now, but I do have a copy of this particular book. We can go back to the kutub of fiqh to understand, because the scholars differ about these things extensively. The madhahib, the four madhahib, differ about raising the hand, whether you should do it, when you should do it, and we don't want to open a discussion of the difference of opinion among the madhahib. Nonetheless, there's a difference of opinion whether it is a part wajib of the salah or a sunnah of the salah, depending on which takbirah it is, and when raised to hands after getting up from ruku' and things of this nature. This I'm unable to answer right now either. So inshallah, if you also send me an email, I will give you some references that you can read from the statements of the scholars. طيب لم يقل تمسكوا بصما the brother Zallah Khair is trying to indicate that when the Prophet ﷺ spoke about holding on to a sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided khulafa, it is by practical implementation. It is not just by basically abstract sense. It is by putting it into practice, not just speaking about it and knowing it. It's actually putting it into practice, if I understood it correctly. And then he said, the Prophet ﷺ told us how to enter Jannah and how to strive for it. And the news has reached us that the Sahaba have attained Jannah. So if you follow their way, then you will also be attaining Jannah. Jazakallahu khairan, ahsanallahu ilayk. Very beneficial. How can we grow our children upon the prophetic path in this era that is filled with entertainment? Throw away the entertainment. I remember in another country, there was a sister who had 2 children, and her husband was away. She didn't have a husband. Whatever the case may be, she had suffered with her children regarding the television set. She warned the children from watching TV. They continued to watch TV. Obviously, the TV did not have, some of the channels that we may have today, like Al-Majd and everything. Even, all the channels is another discussion. But whatever the case may be, they were affected by the TV. And the sister struggled until she made the strong decision. And she called brother, his name was Ali. And this brother Ali, he was the ex-world champion in bodybuilding. The brother, mashallah, was huge. He could eat me in one bite if he ever attempted to do so. Alhamdulillah, he was my friend, so he never did that. Anyways, this brother, went into the house. So where's this TV? And they brought him to the TV, and he just grabbed the TV like this, took it outside, and whoosh, destroyed it in the backyard. Why? Because if he left it alive, maybe the neighbors will take it the next day and they will disobey Allah with it. So it was necessary that the TV was destroyed. And since then, that sister was, the household altogether was much better. There was time for Quran, time for learning, time for speaking with each other, spending time, because that shaitan has left. And really, I personally consider the TV, unless you're watching strictly Islamic stuff, a shaitan. He's a shaitan in your house, imposing his methodology and ideology upon you and your children. You don't control him like you control the internet to some extent. You may go to a good website, you may go to a bad website, you still have the pop-up ads, but you can even disable that. But when it comes to the TV, you may be watching a football game, and next thing you know, there's a naked woman walking across the TV screen because of some commercial or advertisement that you didn't ask for. So then you're going to lower the gaze, right? How often do people lower the gaze when they see a woman on TV? Please, and you try to tell this to your children. So really, you have the entertainment at home, at home like this. You know, the father is just straight face. He said, don't smile. Why? We're following the sunnah. Say, man, come on. That's not what we're trying to say. Don't live the backward life like the Amish people. Enjoy life, but within the halal, within reason. Entertainment with it. Take the children to the park. Let them have some fun. Take them to any place that is halal. You know, they may watch some channels, if you do have a TV, some lawful channels that have some good teachings of the sunnah. ما في مشكلة. But we're talking about the other aspect of things. So have entertainment, but within limitation. And be careful of that entertainment containing haram. Otherwise, you're trying to teach, and the society is trying to teach, and usually you will lose. You will lose. Because the influence that they have is much stronger than the influence you may have. Because you're busy. So one way, a practical solution, as the sister did, throw away the entertainment. And if people try to turn off this TV for one day, and try to live a family life, you will see the difference in the quality of life in the household. Even the internet sometimes is so distracting that we don't have time for our children. You know, the children need some attention. Say, I'm busy. How often are we busy? May Allah forgive us for our shortcomings. I'm not excluding myself from this. So the internet is, even if you misuse it, it becomes extreme. So anything that you do too much of is no good. Similarly, entertainment, you know, khali wali. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What are the candidates for doing masih on socks while doing ablution? Conditions, I'm sorry. The first condition is that you must be in the state of major purity. Yani, if you had been in the state of major impurity, then you made ghusl. So that's first. If you were in the state of major impurity. If not, then you need to be in the state of wudu. You make wudu, you know, the full wudu with the washing of the feet. Then you put on your socks. Now, from the socks, the scholars have differed about the thickness of the socks. Some of them said they must be thick enough where it is not see-through, you do not see your skin. And some of them said this is not necessary. Some of them said if there are holes in it, then it is not valid to wipe over them. Some of them said we cannot imagine the companions, all of them having socks that did not have any holes in it. They were not, you know, buying Lacoste or anything like that. You know, they lived a rough life, so we assumed that they had holes in their socks, and it was still okay for them to wipe over them. The most sound position, as far as I know from what the scholars have mentioned, is that it doesn't matter what kind of sock it is. As long as it is a sock that you put on your feet and it goes above the ankles, according to the more correct position, it goes above the ankles, then from the moment you put on these socks or khuffayn, if they are leather, you may wipe over them for the duration of 24 hours if you are a resident, or 72 hours or 3 days and 3 nights if you are a traveler. But when does it begin? Not as many people think. The more correct opinion is that from the first time you wipe over them, this is when you start counting the 24 hours. Not from the time you put them on. Meaning you wake up for Fajr at 4:30. You make wudu. You put on your socks. You don't start counting the 24 hours from the moment you put on your socks. Rather, you may put them on, go to Salatul Fajr, go to work afterwards, and then you break your wudu at 10 o'clock. You renew your wudu before Dhuhr in 10 minutes. At 12:10. At that particular time, from the first time you wipe over the socks, you begin counting the 24 hours. طيب? So these are the conditions. It must be in a state of purity, and then, you know, you wipe for 24 hours, and afterwards, you must take them off and make wudu again by washing your feet, and then you may put them back on. If you're traveling, then you have 3 days and 3 nights. Wallahu ta'ala.